The UFC absolutely peaked back in 2016, and here's why. In my opinion, this is the greatest year in UFC history, so let's go through what happened that year. One of the main key points was the continued rise of Conor McGregor. He started the year losing to Nate Diaz, got that back in the rematch in August, and then became double champ in November. Conor McGregor's hype was at an all-time high at the time, and every single fight of his was a must-watch. Another key point, especially for me as an Englishman, was seeing Michael Bisping knock out Luke Rockhold for the middleweight championship. I feel like people look at Luke Rockhold now and think he wasn't that great. Luke Rockhold was a humongous favourite going into this fight because Chris Weidman had to step out and Michael Bisping came in on 2 weeks' notice. The first English champion we've ever had, and it's crazy to see how many top contenders and champions we now have as English fans. This year started off with a banger, one of the most underrated fights of all time in my opinion, Robbie Lawler versus Carlos Condit. This one was an absolute classic, and it was on the 3rd of January. This is literally how this year started. Speaking of banging fights, Doo Ho Choi versus Cub Swanson, also an absolute banger. We had one of the greatest title performances of all time when Cody Garbrandt demolished Dominic Cruz, and at the time, Dominic Cruz looked absolutely unbeatable until this fight. UFC 200 happened. Now, when you look at the card now, it seems a little bit lackluster, but this was supposed to be main evented by John Jones and Daniel Cormier. A very controversial card because Jones popped for steroids, so the main event was cancelled, which is why Amanda Nunes and Miesha Tate was the main event. And also, after his fight with Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar popped as well. This year was also the start of Max Holloway's reign. This was for the interim championship at the time. He then went on to become the official champion and defended multiple times. And they're just a few key points from this year. There were other things that happened, like Ronda Rousey getting demolished by Amanda Nunes, Stipe Miocic becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. Tyron Woodley's welterweight run started this year. John Jones made his comeback even though he busted for steroids and then went off again. And you were having fight nights with championship fights on them. Dominic Cruz and TJ Dillashaw was a fight night main event, as was Rafael dos Anjos and Eddie Alvarez. An insane year. It's crazy to look back on now, but this is the greatest year in UFC history.